Golf Central on YouTube is brought to you by the new Chrome Tour golf ball from Callaway.
Well, I'm incredibly humbled and honored to be the Ryder Cup captain for Team USA. Being on a Ryder Cup team changes your life forever. And being in the room with those guys and feeling the extreme pressure of this tournament will change you. And, the dream of being a Ryder Cup captain is something that a lot of us don't even think about because it's such a prestigious honor. And I never knew if I'd get this opportunity. I always felt like this is something that I would love to do and be able to handle. And I'm so honored to be able to be the leader of this team. And I'm going to Bethpage to win the Ryder Cup back for America.
Golf Central, brought to you by Callaway Golf.
Welcome into Golf Central. I'm Whit Watson. Not sure if the PGA of America intended to announce its new Ryder Cup captain yesterday, but as the news raced across social media, it became a necessity. Keegan Bradley was announced as the U.S. Ryder Cup captain for 2025 at Bethpage Black. The pick surprising many in golf and shaking up the traditional selection patterns for the captain. Keegan himself saying, "I don't think I'll ever be more surprised with anything in my life." Bradley, a PGA champion, two-time Ryder Cup team member with an overall record of 4-3-0 and certainly an unrivaled passion for the event. The new captain joined Damon Hack and Eamon Lynch earlier on Golf Today.
Well, Keegan, last year, one of the stories of 2023 was your disappointment of being left off the team. You said you didn't feel like you were part of the boys club. Well, now you're the owner, you're the bouncer out front of the club. You decide who's on, who's off. What type of captain do you want to be?
Well, I didn't say I wasn't part of the boys club. I've never said that. I did feel like this was a little bit of a younger group. But like I said in the press conference, I'm not afraid to say that I look up to these younger generation. I love the way they go about their life and their job and how they're friends with everybody, and they really pull for each other. And that's something that I didn't do when I first came out on tour. I felt like I needed to make everyone the enemy, and they were against me, and it leads to a lonelier life on tour. And that's one of the things I envy about them. And as a captain, I want to put these guys in the best position to win this Ryder Cup that's sitting right here. And I think, going to Bethpage and having the right group is going to be really important.
If you're going to be calling former captains for some advice, is your Aunt Pat going to get a call since she did captain the Solheim Cup team 24 years ago?
I've been on the phone with my Aunt Pat already a couple times. She's my hero. I went to the Solheim Cup that she captained, and she's going to have a lot of insight into what it is to be a captain. I felt so lucky my entire career to have somebody in my own family go through all this, and it's kind of fun for us because no one else can really understand what she went through as a player, and same with me to her. So she's my all-time favorite golfer, my all-time favorite competitor, and somebody that I try to model my career after.
Have you heard from those guys on that 2023 team that you came so close to making yourself?
Actually, I have. Yes, I have. And they've been nothing but supportive, and they're very excited. And I think that they're excited about a little different approach to this Ryder Cup staff. And I think that they're extremely hungry to come to Bethpage and win this Ryder Cup.
Keegan, you let the cameras inside your home last year. We saw the disappointment. Your wife, Jillian, was there. The kids were running around at your feet when Zach Johnson made that call. Take us to a year later, the call from Seth and from John and from Zach. What was your first conversation like with Jillian compared to 1 year ago?
Man, was it different. That call that was caught on Netflix was very raw and real, and one of the saddest moments in my life. And it took months. We're still bummed out that we didn't get to play on that team. But when I got the call a couple Sundays ago to be the Ryder Cup captain, it took a couple days for me to have this sink in and for me to process what this meant. And the responsibility to do this job is huge. You owe it to your country, but also to your fellow teammates to do the right thing and to be the best captain you can be. And I was very proud to get this call, and it felt great to get that call from Zach Johnson.
A look at the recent U.S. Ryder Cup captains and their resumes at the time they were named to the position. So obviously, Tom Watson won more than 39 times, but when he was named captain, that's how many wins that he had. Jim Furyk, 17 wins when he got the call. And the major victories, Keegan Bradley does qualify there with the former PGA Championship. A lot of former U.S. Ryder Cup team members are in Scotland this week for the Genesis Scottish Open. Rex Hoggart has more from across the pond.
Players learned the news that Keegan Bradley will be next year's U.S. Ryder Cup captain about the same time that most fans did. And on Monday here at the Scottish Open, they also had a very similar reaction to most fans, with players we talked to saying they were surprised by the news. However, there was a measure of optimism among players who pointed out that Keegan's passion and commitment are exactly what the job requires.
I think it's, I actually didn't get to say it inside. It was more of passion can help when you're not doing well. You know, I think when our team is called Whistling Straits, our team was flowing. You saw a lot of red on the board early. Guys were playing really well. Guys, you know, different matchups were working really well. And I think it's more so when you're in a tough spot, when you need sort of a, because it's hard for a player, I think, you know, one of the 12 guys to sort of step up and take the room and control. You know, for me at least, I don't see myself being one of those guys that's going to get super vocal. I'll just try to put my head down and play really well and get a point that way. But, you know, having a captain that's really passionate can sort of change the momentum and the attitude in the room, even if it's a little bit sulky or slow, or even if guys are really trying hard and sort of feel like they're not getting over the hump. I think, you know, a captain can give a moving speech if you're good at it. I'm not. I don't know what I'd say. And I think they can sort of move guys to push in the right direction.
I think he's going to be great. I think I don't think anybody can doubt or question his passion or his intensity and fire, which I think, you know, as a player, you know, I want a captain or someone that I'm going to battle for and battle with, but I also feel like, you know, they're going to want it as bad as I do, and I think we all know Keegan's intensity, and he's going to want it.
I think all styles work. It'll be cool to see what Keegan does and maybe some of the nuanced change he'll bring. But again, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, I don't think. I think, yeah, looking for somebody like Keegan who has a massive passion, hopefully can finally open that suitcase.
I mean, I was surprised because I feel like such a different direction than we've gone in past. But I'm definitely not mad about it. You know, especially if you look at the lack of success we've had the last 30 years. I think with the addition of a manager with John Wood being in that role right now, it takes a lot of the day-to-day and potential time that a captain needs to put into the lead up to the Ryder Cup. So after kind of looking at everything and knowing about it, I think it could be a great change. Can't expect to do the same things and hope for better outcomes. So I know it's got to be a really cool opportunity for Keegan, and he's someone that we obviously know how much the Ryder Cup means to him. And he could play his way on and be a playing captain. And I think it also opens up that opportunity more so with guys being a lot more current. Not that there's been anything wrong with the past, but we haven't had a whole lot of success. I didn't know anything about it. I know there's other guys involved in there. But yeah, I just can't expect to do the same thing and hope for better outcomes, so it could be a really good thing.